Becky Coles has joined the meeting.
Hey, Allie.
Becky, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. No complaints?
Sounds like you got a lot on the go, though. You're busy. That's awesome.
Busy? What's happening?
Oh, no, I mean you just you have so much happening, like with all your different shows and everything else. I think that's great.
Oh, yes, and we'll be talking about all that. You know what? The first part, you get to ask me all these questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then we have to get into what's been going on since the Carney win and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem.
There's too much going on.
I know.
It's like, well, we'll have shows before the holidays too, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
You and I will have shows before the holidays as well.
Yeah.
So. It's exciting stuff, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And how about the Blue Jays?
Oh, them too. Yeah, they're doing pretty well, except for the Astros, except for last night. But, you know, it has to get... I don't think Jeff Hoffman is a reliable closer, but oh well.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's nice to see them having a consistent season after so many years of just what the heck was going on, right? So it's just exciting for me.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. So whenever you're ready, I'm always happy to. We've got lots to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Okay. Okay, everything is good. Everything's looking good on my end as well. So we will begin here. We're gonna first start the recording and audio hijack, and we will start that in 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. Now we'll start the Zoom recording, because you never know in case of a backup, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, gotta have multiple copies, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. In 1, 2, 3. System still good?
Yep, all good.
Recording in progress.
Hey, at least it doesn't show leave meeting anymore. It just has the OK button now.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you, we've joked about this before, but it'd be pretty funny if somebody just hit the leave button at the time.
I know.
So here we are going to play the intro, and then we will dive right in.
Awesome.
Welcome to the Broadcast Map Show, part of the Broadcast Map Network, the show that covers the world of broadcasting, the Canadian media landscape, sports media, the show's favorite sports teams, as well as news and politics. Here is your host, Ali Musa.
Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, September the 11th, 2025, and we are back. It's time to discuss the news. Becky Coles, you are finally back.
I am finally back. This was a much bigger break than I had expected, so I'm sorry to keep you hanging for so long. But
oh, no problem. Now, as you have seen here, and of course you just heard the intro there, that there have been a few changes around here, so feel free. This is a chance for you to, and it would be good for the listeners as well, because we haven't really dissected what this is about. So you go ahead. It's time you feel free to ask anything you want.
Well, I'd just like to point out that it took you, I don't know, a summer to get all of these things done and planned out and actually doing them. And it takes like a big corporate radio station much longer to even make a decision of if they're going to like change a logo or not. So I would like to give you kudos for that, because it's a lot of work. What people don't understand is whether you're doing one podcast or a million podcasts, it's a lot of work to plan it, to record it, to edit it. And especially for you, because you've got the added dynamic of the accessibility issue. So I just want to say like kudos to you, because you've made a ton of changes. But what's the most, I guess I'd start with, what's the biggest change to this particular show?
Oh, to this show? Mm-hmm. There are no changes to this show. Yeah,
that's
no.
The one show that's not changing.
Pardon me?
It's the one show that's not changing.
Yeah, but you did see a bit of a name change here.
Yeah, exactly. So you decided to change the show name up a bit, and I think that makes sense. And I think you've, even just in the intro, you've changed it, if I remember correctly, that now you're kind of making it clear that there's going to be people know what they're getting into when they listen to it right away. So I think that's important.
Yeah, actually, even the last time we were here, it did reflect in the last intro as well.
Okay, so I must have missed it.
Now, which we do have, we do have that as well around. So, but so yeah, so just to kind of see, you're probably thinking, what's the reason for this slight name change? Mm-hmm. Well, you did. We also point out in the intro quote part, just to kind of quote Rod's intro here a little bit. Quote, part of the Broadcast Map Network, quote.
Yeah, which, like I say, a lot of corporate communications companies can't figure that out as fast as you can. So that's impressive.
Yeah. So see, what's going on here is that, I wanted to see, now, as you know, I know that you follow the work that we do here. Mm-hmm. We wanted to bring, what I wanted to do was bring all three shows. So just to bring people up, we've got the Broadcast Map Show. We have Ali and McCara's books, which I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to quite yet.
I haven't, no.
Okay. Well, okay. And we've got the books panel.
Right, okay.
So the three shows. So what I wanted to do was bring them all into one sort of umbrella. Mm-hmm. And it was either going to be, it's like, so what do we call this network? Do we call it the Broadcast Map Network? Or what do we sort of call this?
Right.
So I think the Musa Network would have sounded kind of funny too.
I have no problem with that, but some people don't like to have things have their own name in it.
No.
I also
So basically what happened here was that, so then it was like, okay, so that's a name that people are, okay, so we just said, okay, let's call it the Broadcast Map Network. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, well, see, it didn't make sense for this show to then continue being called Broadcast Map, because that's the name of the network.
Right. See, there you go.
So we said, let's rename it to the Broadcast Map Show, part of the Broadcast Map Network.
Yep. It's funny, Jerry Agar and I were talking the other day, and he said something that, what do you call your company? And I said, well, Becky Coles Media, because that's what it is. And it was just, clear over clever has always been my mantra. And he goes, oh, it sounds like you put as much effort into that as I did my radio show. And I said, well, Jerry, it's the Jerry Agar Show. So sometimes it just makes sense to make it more obvious. And I think that's what you've done, right? It's instead of going with Musa Network, with maybe some people wouldn't understand what that is until they listen to it. It makes sense to do the Broadcast Map Network. And then this is the show, which is under that. So I understand.
Yeah, and I think Jerry Ager, I think he's still with Bell Media, I think.
Yeah, he is. Yep. He's still holding on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think, see, the thing was, see, yeah, and you know what? I've always I'm finally like, see, my thing is I'm finally living the dream here of when it took me time to all these years to figure out what is it that I want to do. Well, I do have this love for broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, why not just, now that the tools are here, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, go all in.
Yeah. Like I think as long as, and one thing I always tell people is trust the process when you're doing this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always tell people trust the process because it sounds as good as it does.
Yeah, my advice is always similar to that, but also that if you wait for it to be perfect, it will never be perfect and you will never start. So, like, obviously, you want to look like and feel like you've got kind of a plan together, but if you wait for it to be exactly how you think it is in your head, it's never going to happen. So you need to just put it out there and learn and fix things and adjust as you go. And that's what you've done. You kind of started in one spot and have made changes over the years. And I think that's why you're so confident in where you are now, because you did all of that instead of just sitting there telling all your friends, well, I'd really like to do a radio show. And it's like, and then 10 years later, you're still talking about it. So I think if people are passionate about anything, but especially whether it's a YouTube channel or a podcast or something like that, like just do it. And then you can always say, well, that was fun, but I'm over it now. And that's fine. Actually, a cousin of mine really wanted to do a podcast, and so she did one, and I think she came out with 6 episodes and realized that it wasn't for her based on the amount of time she had to put towards it. But she said, I can always say I did one, and so then that's it. Like, that's fine. No one's gonna mock you. Well, if someone will mock you, because that's what people do, but in general, most people won't say anything. They'll say, that's cool, you did one, and now you've released it and moved on, and that's it. So I think that's great. And I think for sure, though, trusting the process and just kind of knowing that you'll never learn everything because things are always changing, as you've experienced.
Yeah. And the reality is you can't keep up with everything. You have to just kind of go with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. And I tell people that as well. I go, focus on one thing. And then if you have time and energy to learn other things and expand it, then that's great. And that's something you did too, right? Like, you didn't just kind of try to do all the things all at once. And even I know that, and I think we've talked about this on the show, but I know for sure off the show, we've talked about even just how do you decide where to record your show and where to host it and how to schedule it. And even that can take, a lot of people would say, well, once I figure that out, then I'll do the show. It's like, well, why don't you do the show and figure out how to schedule it after?
Yeah. So, what I do now? So, yeah, no, that's a good thing. So what I do now, right, as you know, before what I was using is there are all kinds of these podcast hosting services out there now. Mm-hmm. There's Megaphone and there's Spotify for Creators, which that's what I was using when I started. That's where I used to put them up on Spotify for Creators.
Right. Okay.
Which is fine. Which was fine for the time. And why I say it was fine for the time was because then what began to happen? Yes, I could have had an embedded Spotify player on the website. I could have done all that. But the thing is I was already, as you know, I already post newsletters to the website.
Right, that's right.
So then it was going between two places to post to navigate and post the content.
Right. Why not just do it all in one spot?
Yeah. So then what I did was I moved everything. So then I moved it to the website, which is actually hosted by WordPress.com. Mm-hmm. And you'd say it's a pretty good looking site, isn't it? From what I've got going.
Yeah, I think so. Easy to follow, easy to find everything. There's not a lot. What am I trying to say? There, it's not hard to navigate, which some websites are, where you're like, well, I can't find anything. I'm leaving now. And it's easy. You go to broadcastmap.ca, and then all the links are at the top, so you can follow along. And then if you want to subscribe, you can, which everyone should.
Yes, yes, I agree with that. I agree. Oh yeah, yeah. And see, that's another thing, right? See, so I said, why don't I just bring everything over to one place? Now we talked about. You mentioned editing at the beginning here. I don't like when it comes to editing for me. I don't do that much.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to spend too much time trying to, get all like I don't want to spend too much time getting all picky about how something sounds. The only things I really will take out is generally at the beginning and the end is when typically you'll leave is when before a person starts to speak, they'll tend to pause a bit just so that way just to make the editing process a little easier.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And all I do is I just get rid of those two gaps at the beginning and at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's my sense of editing. And what I've got going now, and I use Audio Hijack here as well because see what Audio Hijack allows me to do is it allows me to have all of these sources. It allows me to record all these different sources that I've got connected to in the application.
Perfect. So you're not trying to run 8 things at once.
Yeah, actually, if you want in the background, feel free just to kind of look that up. What it does, what I've got going is I've got how it works is that everything is basically you arrange everything in blocks on a grid on a 4x4 grid basically.
Okay.
So what it allows, so what I've got is I have a input block which is my mic connected to an output block on the right hand side of that. Okay. Connected to a recorder block and of course a volume block that wave. If we need to mute the sources, if we need to chat off air, I've got blocks set up to do that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks very straightforward.
I'm sorry, did you have a chance to pull that up there?
Yeah, I just brought the website up and it looks super straightforward and like it's intuitive. Is that the right word?
Yes.
I've lost the word, where like it makes sense. It's not just, well, why the heck would they put that there? Because there's a lot of programs like that.
And I have the broadcast block here as well. It's got a broadcast block, and then of course, I've also got a Zoom block here. I've got another application block, which I've got Zoom going, connected to a recorder block, to an output and recorder block as well. So I've got everything kind of going here, and I also use their soundboard app, developed by the same company actually, Farago.
Oh, okay.
To so-called play the intros and the outros. And what I've got going is I've got them all all these sources. I have them going to, I have a recorder block. That's why I have 3 separate recorder blocks. So because I have each source going to its own track.
I see. Okay. And so how long did it take you to set this up?
I don't know, maybe about half an hour.
Oh, that's not bad. I thought you were going to say like 2 days.
No, it did, but I did need some, like I was sort of confused a bit, so I did reach out a number of times to Rogue Amoeba support and ask, and just to check to see which way we've got things kind of going, and because I wasn't getting the intended results that I wanted, and then so then I've got that kind of going as well.
So how does the application work for someone like you who has the accessibility issue? Like, is it audio prompts, like it tells you where stuff is?
They've actually made it they've made it extremely accessible.
Okay.
And they actually strive to do that. All of their applications, they're one of the well-known ones that do that, that have made sure and continue to make sure that it's easy to use.
Because I find it fascinating that like how people navigate these websites and how many of the websites are not navigable at all. So I always I always find it interesting when you'll tell me about something new and you go, no, their support is really good for that. So that's why I always ask about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Because I think people don't we take our sight and hearing for granted, and I think people don't realize what it's like to navigate a world that's so visual, especially with the internet and phones and everything else. And so I think when the people are designing websites, they're not thinking about it either until someone points it out, like, no, that's not accessible at all, actually. And then that's when they have to make the changes. But until you meet someone like you who tells you about it and you go, oh, okay, well, now I'm aware of it.
And also as well, right? See, also we've also talked about the booking service TidyCal. I don't know if we've talked about it on air or off air. I know we've talked about it off air.
Yeah, we've talked about it off air. I still have it, although I use Google a lot more now because it's caught up to what I need it to do. But I still have TidyCal just in case.
Yeah, and actually, I'll be honest with you, TidyCal is actually not, and it's not that I'm slamming them, but yes, I realize we are on air, but we're going to say it here anyway.
Okay.
Okay. It's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. I'm not gonna swear or anything else. We don't do that around here.
No, that's not your style.
No. But they actually are not they will not be incorporating accessibility into their products.
See, that surprises me. Well, I guess nothing should surprise me.
But
that's too bad.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that's unfortunate. So I would, that makes me want to use it even less than I already do.
Yeah. I don't Google. Now Google appointment schedules is okay, but it doesn't give you all the flexibility that, say, Zoom Scheduler does.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. So I've started using Google does what I need it to do most of the time. So I've just kind of accepted it. But there are times when I wish I could like add certain options in there where I go, well, it would be really nice to do this, right? And it's tough, especially when you're trying to book with a bunch of different people, and it will check all of their calendars. But then there's little things too where like you got to go in afterwards and set who the host is, or like the main calendar. It doesn't anyway. It's just little things that I go, everyone else has this figured out. I don't know why you don't have it figured out, especially something like Google that knows that there's other platforms out there.
Yes. And, and also too, right. Also as well, the other side of it, I think, is too, that that honestly, I have to be honest, Google Meet has become is kind of a disaster. Compared to Zoom, it's a disaster.
Yeah, we've started using it at a few places that I work, purely just because like costs keep going up, and we just go, well, for the amount that we use it, it makes sense to use Google Meet. But it's another one where I go, I don't know why. They've seen all the other platforms. You can't tell me there isn't like a team sitting there working on it and that they said, yeah, this is better than what's out there. I don't understand that.
Yeah, no, but honestly, Becky, let me be honest. You know what it looks like? They're not committed to anything. They're not committed to it at all. To Google Meet, they're not committed to Meet at all.
Yeah, it feels like they said, okay, we had a team now we have it. Is everyone happy now? And then that's it. They moved on, right?
Because see, you know what? Because every time after an update, especially on the mobile side, every time after an update, it would, and you click a Meet link to join, it it would honestly, what it would do is it would actually bring you to the information page to install the app and give you information about the app as though you don't even have the app installed.
Oh, I've never experienced that.
Yeah,
That's annoying.
try it on mobile next, or
Yeah, I'll have to try that out.
especially on the iPhone.
Oh, okay. I don't have an iPhone. I'm one of those people, but I do know people with iPhones. So
Yeah,
I'll
so
get them
try
to
that
try
out.
it out for me.
So what's going to happen? And then how do you fix that? Well, you have to uninstall it and then reinstall it again just to be able to join the meeting after an update.
Yeah, I don't get that. But there's a lot of stuff like that that goes on where they go, well, just reinstall it. And it's like um that should not be the answer every time. Like we had an issue with our cable box and it wasn't staying connected to the remote. And so I understand how to repair the remote. Like I understand all of that. But I got tired of doing it every day. So I went to the store and I said, this is the box. This is the remote. I need a new one. And they said, no, we'll just give you a new remote. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we came home and it worked. Well, now it's doing the same thing. So how many, and I also, they won't take the old remote back. So now I have like a collection of remotes and I go, how is this the solution? Is just, here's a new remote. We don't need to know what's going on. So it's the same thing with, well, generally, like if you look at troubleshooting for most stuff, it's just restart it and it should work. And I get it. Like, yeah, sometimes there's a glitch and that happens, but I also feel like there's got to be something more going on than uninstall it and put it back in and that should fix everything. Because who has time for that? I don't know. Maybe some people, I guess the people that designed it do, but I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't honestly. You know what? I'm not. You know what? That's not something Yes, I love the Google services. I love the Gmail and Google Calendar, etc. But I do not like Meet, and therefore I will not use it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And because I remember you and I discussed maybe using Google Meet in the future. And so
Yep.
I think you just got tired of trying to make it work, which
Yep.
is too bad, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Same thing with Riverside. That was also one that kind of gave me some. It gave me some not like it gave me a bunch of other issues. It's like one of my recordings didn't even. It got kind of stuck or didn't work, and support had to fix it. It took them about maybe 2 weeks to fix it. But I said,
Wow.
Enough. I said, give me the refund.
Yeah, because Riverside, I've had issues with them, but nothing like that. But it's a good chunk of money invested, so you want it to work properly all the time. And I find Riverside has made a ton of changes lately, and some of them have improved, but some of them I would say maybe they need to plan them out a bit more because. And when you write support, it takes however long to hear back. You're like, well, I needed the fix now, not 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, no, I think honestly that's the thing, right? And plus now Google like the Google Calendar and everything integrates with Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
and
they've got the deep integration there.
Yeah, that was a frustration for a while, but they seem to have sorted that out, so that's cool.
It's been around for a while though, that integration.
Well, yeah, it's as I'm saying, like, we for a long time said, why couldn't it? And now finally they've done it. So it makes it easier for you.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And so what did you think about now, we haven't done a show since Carney kind of got elected there as the full-time prime minister. Did that sort of surprise you? And then, of course, Poilievre did win that seat, but he does have a leadership review coming up.
Yeah, so I have a couple of opinions on that. I just remember when they announced Carney had won, I just remember thinking, I hope the country got it right. Like whether you voted for him or not, I hope that was the right choice. And I see why most people felt it was the right choice based on the uncertainty of what's going on south of us. The Poilievre thing makes me mad because he lost his seat. And that, people decided they didn't want him in there for whatever reason. We can discuss why that happened, but then for them to draw, and I get this happens all the time and this is how it works, but they say, okay, well, now we're going to put you in this riding. This poor guy who got elected is going to step down, and I'm sure he'll be rewarded handsomely in one way or another. But if I was a voter, I might be like, well, I'm generally not a conservative voter, but I voted for this guy because I like this guy. Like Vic Fideli and I, he's the MPP in North Bay. He and I talk about this all the time, that people say, well, it's a conservative riding. And he goes, no, it's a Vic riding because everybody knows me. He said, like, I was the mayor and I just, I go and I talk to everybody and I'm everywhere. He goes, so, and I would say that that's probably the same where I am in Niagara. It's a Wayne Gates riding. It's not necessarily an NDP riding. It's just because everyone knows Wayne Gates and they look at the options, and maybe they don't like him either, but they certainly don't like the options. So that's what happens. But I think there's a lot of people that vote based on, they go, geez, normally I wouldn't vote for this party, but I like this person and they do good things for me. So that's why I vote for them. So I really had an issue with that, but he got it, he won the seat and that's fine. And I think this is his second and also last chance to prove that he should be in that seat, like as far as seat meaning leader of the opposition goes. But I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, I don't know. I read his book, and we did discuss it on a couple of books panels ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not his book. Sorry, it was written, Andrew Lawton's book.
Right. Okay.
Pierre Poilievre, A Political Life.
Okay.
And see, his thing has always been getting it, get it done. And that's what he's sort of been showing here.
Mm-hmm.
More like Trump style.
Yeah. And maybe that's what scared people off, was he was a little too much like Donald Trump. And it was the wounds were still fresh. So people were really worried about that. And maybe that's why they didn't vote for him. I don't know. But I think he's got to show why he's different than that, because not everyone likes that style of leadership. So I think if you want to convince Canadians, like a lot of people will say, well, I don't want that. Like, maybe I want someone with similar conservative values, but I don't want the sideshow of it. And so I think that's where he's got to, that's what he's got to be able to show better, is what makes him different.
Now, we left off sort of, and I did want to get your thoughts on, do you remember Bill Kelly's piece on will Trump create a crisis to stay in power? I don't know if you had a chance to listen or watch that. What were your sort of thoughts there on what he said? If you ask me, what he said there makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think it was funny because I hadn't listened to it. Now I have, and it was very well thought out, right? And I think that's sometimes where people get polarized when it comes to politics in general, but especially what's going on to the South, is as soon as you say his name, people get upset and they don't want to hear it, right? But I think Bill had a really reasonable approach to his thought on it. And we just, every time we turn around, there's something new happening and with the states. And I just think that everything has to calm down, whether you like who's in power or not. We need everything to calm down because both sides of the border are feeling the effects.
Yeah. Now, you might also remember Ted and I sort of had this conversation indirectly too.
Oh, did you? No, I missed that.
That about the fact, it was sort of all about when he kept going on about his annexing Canada and this and that.
Yeah.
That Ted was, there's no way he can do that. And it's kind of proving there is really, in reality, he can't. He sort of softened a bit on that.
Yeah, I think he realized that it wasn't going over the way he thought. Like, I think he got the frustration that he was looking for, but I don't think it was no longer fun. Sometimes people like to cause trouble. I'll do that in some Facebook groups sometimes where I'm just I'll make a comment just to see how people react, which is funny. But it's like a local Facebook group. It's not the country that we're talking about. So I feel like it's a little safer. And I know that it's just to press buttons of the people that can't help themselves. But like I say, that's a lot different than running a country. And I feel like maybe he started to get reaction from a lot of different people that said, we have to maybe tone this back a bit and go after some other things and other situations. So, but I also feel like this isn't done. Like the tariff thing isn't done, and
No,
it's even the annexing Canada thing. I think that's always going to be something that it'll come up again, and we'll say, oh yeah, well there it is. He just has other things to focus on right now.
yeah, no, but here's the thing. Like, I don't like. See, there are a lot of things now that like there are a number of things. If we look around, what's been going on, there are a lot of things now that aren't going his way.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think that's why maybe he's walking back certain things, and then you have incidents like yesterday that then just fuels his supporters. Like never mind him, but it fuels his supporters to feel a certain way. And so I think it's this allows him to kind of go see, but then also he needs to be careful how he reacts to that because everyone is so polarized, right? Like there's definitely that division. And I just think the last thing we want to see is like a modern day civil war. That scares me because
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know
the
what that
thing,
would look like. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah, I really don't agree with how he's like with the way he's going about things. I don't really like he's like the way he's going after the way he's going with the way he's doing things with Israel and things like that.
Yeah, I've never understood any leader kind of getting involved with things when they have to get their own house in order. But then I also understand that people can't help themselves, right? So I guess I understand both sides, but um, I just feel like there's so much going on in North America that we need to focus on that and just um, let other sides sort it out or not sort it out until we are sorted. And then we can say, okay, well, now that that's taken care of, maybe now we can look elsewhere.
Well, that's it. I don't know. I think it's just it's very interesting, but you know what? It's also scary as well. Like it's interesting and scary,
Mm-hmm.
and that and it's like how much then do you actually pay attention to? You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the thing. So they'll say, okay, so and so's making an announcement about this. And so you watch it. And then in 24 hours, it's changed. Someone has changed their mind or something else. And um, I think that's where I get scared about it is just like, and you don't know what to trust. Like there's so much, and I hate the term fake news now because like
Uh
it's
huh.
been ruined, but there's so much inaccurate reporting or inaccurate things that are shared around and even videos that people will share. Well, look at this video of whatever. And I think that's not real. Like, you can tell it's not real, but so many people share it and you go, oh my gosh, like now everybody thinks that's a thing. And that scares me too, right? Um, that people are not doing their research. Like it's really weird. It used to be no, you had to fact check and look at things, and now people just see something and send it off and go, well, you know what I saw, and I saw this, and you're like, no, that's not real. Like that's not even close to real. So that scares me a lot too.
Oh yes, 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 and yes. You know what? We have to do. And I know we'll do another news show before the holidays.
Yeah, now like so behind the scenes, we moved. I went on vacation. I had gallbladder surgery,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it was the September. So I'll go and schedule something as soon as we get off the air here.
There we go. There we go. Yes, and we do
It's
have,
promising.
and we talked about the Blue Jays a little off air. We
Yes.
Yes, we do have a Blue Jays show coming up in a couple of weeks. Actually, another Blue Jays
Mm-hmm.
show. We had one on Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, and then if you don't know, Allie's a big Blue Jays fan.
Yes.
And so I was just excited because I said it's nice to see, like, they have the odd game that you go, I think everyone would like to take that back, but it's nice to see them being consistent again, where you're not like, well, why bother watching because it's just going to be painful, but instead it's encouraging to watch. And actually, Jerry Agar and I went to a Bison's game a few weeks ago, and we were there when Springer. It was the last game Springer was there before he came back up after his
Ah.
concussion. So it was cool because we got to see him hit that home run, and then he left. But we saw Bieber, like, and then that's the cool thing about the Bison's games, if you can go to
Yeah.
them, is you see a bunch of these people that you may like. We saw Barger last year, and it's just nice when how did Jerry put it? The Jays have like an embarrassment of riches right now as far
Oh yeah.
as like their strength goes. And like I think that's a great problem to have. And it's something It gives us all something nice to look forward to. Unless you hate baseball, but then
Oh, yes, yeah.
what's your problem? Why do you hate baseball so much?
Yes. Yes, so we had Daniele Franceschi on Tuesday from The Fan, and check that out. We'll make sure we put a link to that here and when this show goes up. And also, but coming up on September 23rd, which is a Tuesday, we have Scott Belford, host of the Walk Off podcast, to talk some Blue Jays. So there'll be a lot to discuss there.
And that'll be great timing just to see where we are in the season. So I think that'll be a really good show.
Yes, and I know you'll be listening.
I will.
Yeah.
That's where I get my Blue Jays info from.
Oh, there you go. Or from the Walk Off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, check out and the Fan Morning Show as well. And and of course Blue Jays Talk and so you can check out Becky at broadcastmap.ca. Well, yeah, you can check me at you can check it. Yeah. Why not?
That works. I think you go there first.
Yeah, BeckyColes.com.
Yep.
And where you can find me is, and Rod will tell us here where you can find me.
Thank you so much for listening to and/or watching the Broadcast Map Show. To learn more about the show, please visit broadcastmap.ca. While you're there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email address and hit subscribe right on the homepage. The Broadcast Map Show is part of the Broadcast Map Network, where good conversations happen.
Okay, Becky, I'm just going to stop the recordings and then just stay here for a couple minutes. We'll just chat off here.